today, as we said that we're gonna go over, we're gonna just revisit a little bit more about the updates that we have received
Yeah.
from the gurus from Scrum. In November, they have made a podcast where
Yeah.
they have described it a little bit the changes for 2017 about Scrum, and it seems like I think if I'm not wrong, it seems like it is the fourth revision they did since
Oh.
2011.
Is it?
They did 2011, 2000. I think it is third, maybe fourth. Well, I remember that the first one when they changed on 2009, then 2011, 2013,
14.
and 16, and now we got this new revision on 2017, which is, if I'm not wrong, again, and it's pretty hard because we are doing our point of view based on what the guru said. So,
Yeah.
guys, don't feel bad if we
Yeah.
say something that is not totally.
Yeah. Just to be clear, we're not coming here saying that we are experts in Scrum. We are trying to make it easy for everyone. We're gonna try to make this short. That's
Mhm.
why we have our guides with us. We have the real guide.
Okay, but these
So-
guys, Jeff, and they use the paper. Meanwhile, they were talking.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to summarize in like 15 minutes, which is
Tops.
the the
Hopefully.
podcast. We're gonna try to make as short as we can.
Yeah.
So I think that there are main 5 areas they have covered over the revision.
Yeah. There's a video on YouTube which we will share the video link down below. And yeah, no, we're gonna try to make it straight to the point. Their video is like an hour long.
Hmm.
Of course, all these things that we're gonna talk about, they are not superficial. They are powerful. So they took their time to work on it, discuss, give their impressions and their feelings. What I would like to start with is saying, like, these guys are, like Nelson said, like you said, they are the gurus, but they are humble enough to say we need to
Yeah.
make this better. So they are, they are evolving their own guide because they know things change, and we're gonna cover some of the things that are very cool. One of the specific ones that I like the most is the changes on the daily Scrum, but I think the changes, updates, if you will, revision, whatever, on the Scrum Master role are very cool as well. But yeah, I really like the fact that they are humble enough to say, let's make this better, and it's not perfect.
Yeah,
So-
and one of the good things I heard from that video was, the Scrum is not about them. It's about a group of people who drove them in order to create something short, like focus it to help people, to guide them in order to how to better use such of the, not such, but several of these ceremonies that Scrum has.
Yeah.
So that was powerful when I heard these two guys saying that it's not about them but about a group of people,
About others,
others,
true leadership.
true
All right.
leadership. So let's go. The first one I
Let's
think
jump
it was
right in.
the uses of Scrum. I just love that one because it makes sense when a lot of people when we mention about Scrum, they are a little worried because I'm not from IT companies, so I cannot
I can't use it. Yeah.
So when he were mentioning about what you can do in order to get something better, then Scrum might be a good answer.
Yeah.
If you want a better car or Scott tape, as he mentioned.
Yeah. That's true.
So what you can do in order to make it better?
Yeah, it's great.
know.
It's true. So the main changes the main changes. This is not only for software development. This can also be applied to other areas, other companies, other services. In our case, operations. Right. Very straightforward, simple enough.
Yeah, I think he mentioned about bank, but maybe on HR, which is now operations, maybe it is not IT. They use technologies, but human resources are not IT. They are operations itself. We know, as we, if we're gonna compare as DevOps, but maybe they can do, use Scrums based on what they want to do better. you
Yeah.
know.
This goes back to that idea of, all right, we're talking about making a product better, creating a product. So why not look at your process as a product
Or
and
as a
then make it
service,
better?
or
No,
maybe a service.
using the product idea
Mhm.
so that you can use the concept of product enhancements and delivery by changing the way you look at your process. It's just an idea.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think the first one it is the uses of Scrum,
Yeah.
and I love this one because it opened people's mind about thinking Scrum in a different way.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The second one is they refined
The
the
role.
role of the Scrum Master. Right. So they talk a lot about the fact that a Scrum Master has exactly what Luisão talked
The
about.
big Luis.
Yeah, coaching, coaching the team. They also say supporting Scrum, the Scrum Guide, promoting and supporting the Scrum Guide as their Bible, their guide, helping teams understand the theory, practices, rules, and values. Very straightforward as well. What else?
But I just love one word he said that was patience.
Yeah.
You know, because we are talking about culture change. You know,
Right.
so that's why we were talking about with Big Luis about if should be rotated position or not. And I think the role of the Scrum Master or Iteration Manager on other companies is pretty much be a servant leader, right? They need to have patience. They need to have emotional intelligence. How to treat people, how to minimize impacts about conflicts. So I think that, and I just love that too, because it opens people's mind that the Scrum Master, and recently, not for you guys from outside of Brazil, but recently, Exame.com, which is
Mm-hmm.
like a big. It used to be a magazine, but it's
Magazine. Yeah.
online right now.
Yeah.
They mentioned about six positions that will be top hot one positions in the future. Scrum Master is one of them.
Nice.
So we
It's already
understand
exploding, man.
and will.
Just if you're in a tech company, IT company, your LinkedIn should be exploding with Scrum Master
But afterwards,
roles and
you
stuff.
know, the gurus mentioned about Scrum is not only for IT. Man, it
Yeah,
will
it's
just
everything.
explode.
Yeah, that's good, man. It's especially for us because, man, when you find something that you really believe and it works, and the world is, you know, taking it in, just that's wonderful.
I'm imagining, you creating your own skate company, my own
Yeah,
rollerblade company. We might need Scrum Masters.
that's true. That would be a dream.
Yeah.
It's still in our backlogs.
Dreams.
Yeah. All
So
right.
what comes next?
The next one is my favorite. It's the daily Scrum updates, specifically the part where they say the questions are no longer mandatory. They are like a map. Like they work for especially in the beginning because the purpose to to be set is not as clear for everyone. But that part for me was special. The second part is when they say the main purpose of the daily Scrum to be help the team be focused on the value they are delivering at that iteration.
Yeah,
So when we're
towards
talking about
the spring goals.
the sprint goals, sorry,
Nah,
sprint goals.
no, sorry,
So when we talk about people considering doing daily scrums once every 2 days, you're gonna lose the potential of delivering even higher value and keeping closer track of your progress. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
and I like that one because it remembers me that I saw, and you probably saw that as well, running towards the teams and squads like something robotic. Just answering
Yes,
these three
that's true.
questions, and the questions, as you said, it was pretty much to get the team aligned towards the sprint
Yeah,
goals. Are we gonna deliver something that it will get value at the end of it?
yeah,
So that's why, and I saw some other coaches uh, pushing, and I just forgot the word right now, but pushing the champions and other agilists to how you could do better stand-ups. So try to
Yeah,
think outside the box.
true.
What are the you don't need to go towards the questions,
Yep.
but you just need to understand that it's not for discussions, but as we said, Elmo might be something that should be applied if
Yeah.
you're not going to answer these questions, because otherwise you're gonna just spend more than you can, like, just to align the team about the goals.
Yeah.
Not the goals, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm too talking today. I'm talking too much. But I also remember that some teams and Amazon, he mentioned about Amazon that delivered every day. They deliver something. So every day is like
Yeah.
a planning at the same
Yeah.
time they are doing stand-ups. So it's
wonderful.
powerful too.
It is. So maximize value delivery per sprint. Focus on that, and
Just perfect.
to share. Focus on what are the impediments to get there. Are we going to get there? It's great. The questions are helpful, but not mandatory anymore. I love non mandatory stuff.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I guess it's great that the next one is pretty
Aligned.
aligned with the daily Scrum, so the time box. So what's the concept behind time box?
The time box, to my understanding, by Nelson understanding, is pretty much just to give you like a direction. I would say directions. Like,
Right.
let's try to put like time box for 15 minutes. So if we achieve the 15 minutes, it gives you like um, an opportunity to understand. Okay, we are extending a little bit more. Like, not extending a little bit more, but it's like a sign that would tell you that maybe you're gonna need to speed up, otherwise discussions might take longer.
Yeah,
But maybe
yeah,
sometimes you can use 15, maybe more, but it's just like a line,
yeah.
like a red line. You just cross it, so be careful, otherwise you might go over.
Maybe not temperature, but something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like a limit.
A limit.
I've been back and forth. In the beginning, I was very driven, especially when talking, like, for example, discussed with a lot of people about retrospectives, and I was very focused on, okay, let's make this as quick as possible. I was wrong, partially wrong. Then later I realized the guides, most of the guides had a time box of 1 hour to 2 hours for retrospectives, and that was like a cold shower. I was like, ooh, 2 hours for retrospective. I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Now they are saying that is okay. We have a time box, but the time box is a maximum length. It is a limit that you should strive to avoid and work towards being better, which is, I think, which is the half that I was right, but not the approach was too aggressive. So the focus is, all right, we have a limit, like you said, but always strive to do better. If you can do it in 30 minutes, awesome. As long as everyone's participating, you're driving value. And very important, I've seen this. You can sense that the team is collaborating and sharing. Some people might say, "Oh, our team are not sharing anything that didn't work well." Well, maybe that's because it's too open and people are not feeling safe to share, because there's always something that is not good.
You
It's
know,
very difficult to be perfect,
yeah.
like these guys are showing us.
One thing I just remember, and I'm sorry, I'm just going back to the role of Scrum Master. I just remember one thing he said that was pretty awesome. That was, okay. The team just got into the stand-up moment, right? And the Scrum Master is not there. So what we're gonna do now? The Scrum Master is not there. So,
Right.
but the update is like the stand-up is for the team. So if the
By
Scrum
the team,
Master
for the
is not
team.
there, is for the team.
It's not a problem.
So I just remember that it is the time box and the stand up and the role that I remember that. So it's also,
It's all
don't
connected.
wait for the Scrum Master if the Scrum Master is not available, because the update is for the team.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for time boxes. Always strive to do better, and by doing better is less time on meetings, more time doing the work, delivering value, so you can get better.
And,
Sick.
and I think that there is one last one, I think, which is the continuous improve that he mentioned about, um, when the team identify and the continuous improving. And I think that maybe we're going to need to understand a little bit more. But when he mentioned about the retrospective, when you identify something that needs to be improved to be added into the backlog. So I think that
Yeah.
maybe might come some confusions, because at the same time we are talking about operations and DevOps, and Bruno and myself, we always mention about Kaizen and continuous improving team. Where should we include that? Should we put everything on the backlog, even if it is Kaizen, or should we have separate backlog for continuous improvement and something related to the operations or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
software development? So
Yeah.
maybe it is something that I'm gonna need to, understand what situation we should have different backlogs or everything on the same.
Yeah. Right now, I'm trying to separate Kanbans. A backlog for projects, which will drive improvement, and a backlog for processes. I'm trying. The other one was very difficult. Too much going on. Too many columns in the Kanban. They are different subjects, so
There
it's
are different
working a little bit better.
phases.
But we'll
There are
see.
different work states and
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
yeah. You can't apply funnel. You can't apply whip limits to the Kaizen stuff. You don't know the status stuff. Whatever. Different topic for January.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's better. I think separated, it's better.
Okay then. So we're gonna share with you guys at the bottom of this the Scrum guides descriptions about the wordings that were added and changed on this material. 16 pages and most of the languages. And I heard that for UK might be 20 because big words. It was funny. But
That's funny.
we're gonna
I
add
didn't know
this
that.
the link that you can see the wording that were added or changed on the guide. Maybe we can also put some tips about the certification, maybe a
Yeah.
different topic
Yeah, we'll put the link for the guide, everything related.
related to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that was short.
Shorter.
Shorter.
That was great.
And,
We
and
hope
this
this
guy
helps.
and this guy is pretty almost like me, no hair,
There's a bald one.
and I don't have. I took it off, and yours is growing up. Your beard.
Yeah, when we keep changing and shifting. We had to do the mustaches together one episode.
Yeah.
Big
2018, he had mustache.
big mustache.
Later, guys.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
2018.